How's it going, fellas, and welcome to the channel where I kick back, relax and talk NBA 2K21, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to stop slashers, how to stop big men in NBA 2K21. They've had a huge overhaul and they're dunking on everybody, big men, small men, and everybody in between. So I'm going to be teaching you all the tips and tricks that you need to stop a big man in the paint in NBA 2K21. So if you like that sort of stuff, leave a like, hit the subscribe button. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so hitting that subscription button would really help out. But anyway, guys, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is don't stand in the paint and wait. That's what slashers want. That's what a big man wants you to do. They want you to stand in the paint and get dunked on. I've been doing it for years, fellas. Trust me, guys. When you're a slasher, you're licking your lips when you see a big man or another player just standing in the paint waiting for you to dunk on them. It really is that easy, guys. All you have to do is step up out of the paint. It's as simple as that. Don't stand in the paint when trying to guard a slasher. Stand just outside the paint, a couple of steps outside the paint. It helps a ton. It really does, fellas. I can't preach it enough. I really can't. You've got to actually remember that these guys have no dribble moves. They have no ball handle, so any little bump will force a pickup. If you have clamps on bronze, the higher the better, but if you have clamps on Hall of Fame, step up, fellas. Trust me, you will bump them straight away. The worst thing you can do for a slasher is let them build up speed. Soon as they build up speed, it's game over. So meeting them at the paint, you can't get dunked on from outside the paint. If they try and dunk on you, they'll get that weird animation with the weird layup and they'll miss every single time. Trust me, fellas, you don't want to be standing in the paint because if they build up that speed, it's game over. You need to meet them outside the paint. You don't want to stand too close because they can burn you for speed at times. Those glass cleaning lockdowns have that extra speed, and with the speed boosting glitch, they can burn you. So you don't want to stand too close to the player because they can get blow-bys. But to stop the blow-bys, you just have to hit him in the chest. Make sure that the guy runs into your chest and not into your arms or not to the side of you, right into the middle of you, and you'll get a forced pickup every single time. So the next thing I want to talk about is when you should jump and when you should put hands up. Hands up isn't always enough against slashers anymore. It's not like last year and previous years where hands up is enough. You have to jump at slashers, especially big man slashers. You can't just get away with hands up anymore. So if it's a big man or a slasher, jump every single time. If it's a non-slasher, guard to small forward, you can get away with hands up. If players are taller than you need to jump, fellas. If players are smaller than you can get away with hands up. It's that simple, fellas. It's not rocket science. At the end of the day, doing hands up against the guard as well will help you grabbing the rebound against the big man so you can contest the guard, but then you can still jump at the big man going for the rebound, so you have a chance of disabling the shot or dismantling the shot and still trying to get the rebound at the same time. So the next thing I want to talk about is positioning is everything, and I really mean that, fellas. I can't preach and preach and preach that positioning means everything in 2K. When somebody is going up for a dunk or a layup and you're not directly in front of him, you will not get the contest. You will not get the animations to stop it. So you have to be in front of the player, in between the opponent and the basket at all times, fellas. Whether there's a bit of space between you and the 3-point line, because sometimes the big man will run out to the 3-point line, and if it's not a 3-point shooter, don't chase him. Stay in the paint. No, not in the paint, but just outside the paint. Just like I said in tip 1, you don't want to be directly in the paint. Trust me, fellas, just stand outside the paint, but as long as you're inside your player, in between the player and the basket holding L2, it's fine, because if the guard pulls up a shot, you're holding L2, so you'll actually stop the player from running in from the rebound, and as long as you're in between the basket, like I said, and the player holding L2, you'll box out every single time. Holding L2 on defense helps a ton. If a guy tries to cut, the big man tries to cut past you, you will bump him, you will give him hassles, you'll stop alley-oops. There's so many things that holding L2 off the ball on defense helps a ton. People don't realize it, especially as a big man. You don't have to do it as a guard, but as a big man in the paint, holding L2 off the ball helps a ton for boxing out and bumping players trying to slash to the basket. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. It was a shorter video, but I hope these tips and tricks do help you guarding big men in NBA 2K21. So positioning, don't stand in the paint and just be waited to dunk on, fellas. Trust me, stand outside the paint. I'll try and show you in the video where to stand. I'll try and show you in editing where to stand just outside the paint. So aren't getting dunked on, but still have a perfect chance or a great chance or a big chance to stop the guy on the drive. But anyway guys, as I said, I've talked and raved long enough. If you do like these rant and raves, leave a like, hit the subscribe button. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so hitting that subscription button would really help out. But anyway guys, as I said, I've talked and raved long enough. I'll catch yous later.